It's showtime, folks. Welcome in. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game on this rainy Friday. He is Big Joe Dubin. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier is on the ones and twos after getting his beauty sleep. How are we doing today, boys?
He's handsome.
He is handsome.
Good morning,
Got his
Dr.
hair all
Crane.
done.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm excited. I have some cool news to share with you both.
Oh,
I am a owner of a hog.
Harley Davidson or some girl you picked up on 2nd Avenue?
No, it's an actual animal.
Nice. We have a name for the hog?
Skillet.
Skillet. That's
is that predicting his future? Or
Yes, June 25th.
That's my birthday.
Well, it's going to be happening on your birthday, the slaughter day.
Oh, wow.
that is coinky dink right there, boys. Slaughter
So-
Day, Chase's birthday.
Wait, hang on. So you have a pig, a hog,
Yes.
and you're going to have it for 6 months basically, and then you're going to basically eat said pig is what
That
I'm
is-
understanding here.
You are correct, Chase. That is right.
Are you
This is going to be the Simpsons episode with Pinchy. He's going to
Pinchy.
fall in love with the pig
That's right.
and not be able to go through with it.
That where is said
This
pig?
is not where I thought the show was going to start today.
Where is pig hanging out for the next 6
Said
months?
pig is 6 months at my uncle's in Murfreesboro.
Okay.
So
Congratulations then.
thank you.
Hey, I mean,
Thank you very much.
Good. Oh, will you go down and see pig? Or
Yes.
okay.
At holiday events, birthdays, throw whatever's left over we don't eat at it, and he eats it. And so, yeah, that's the gist of it all.
Okay. Oh, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Do you form a relationship with it? These are really idiotic questions, and I'm sorry.
No, don't be idiotic.
No,
Chris.
this
They're
is,
actually great. My uncle knows how much I enjoy watching these hogs eat food, so I just grab a lawn chair and throw stuff over the fence, and it's just fun to watch.
There are a few bachelorette parties that are kind of the same for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That's
Well,
twice
good.
now you've made
That's right.
similar
Well,
joke.
congratulations there, Dr. Crane. I'm
Thank
proud
you.
of you.
That's a little bit why I was late. I was trying to get the ramifications of what
You
all
should,
is entailed with this.
You know,
Okay.
like if this goes well for you and you decide to do this again, you should get 2 next time and name them Ima and Yura.
Too early to process.
Sorry.
I'm a
I'm a hog, you're a hog.
Come on, Joe. You didn't
Come
get
on.
that?
I completely missed that. Was
Okay.
that something from something?
Yeah, it's a
that-
joke. I mean, it's an old
It's probably all that air that's left out in your toboggan at the top there.
All right. Well, congratulations, man.
Well, thank you. Yep.
This
proud
is
of
I don't really know where to go from here because that was
I
was
do.
not where I expected to start the show today.
Oh, I do. I've got a bone to pick with the head football coach for the Pittsburgh Panthers because I've never been as infuriated watching a bowl game. And I was texting you, Chase and Ricky. I don't know, Dr. Gray, if you saw the Pitt Toledo bowl game, the most frustrating, boneheaded decision from head coaches I've ever seen in a football game. And it drove me crazy. And I don't like when things that I can't control drive me crazy. But Chase, that drove me crazy. And you know why?
I know. Look, here's my thing on bowl games. So I was watching this too. Bowl games mean nothing, but they're fun. They're obviously they mean something to the guys that are actually playing in them.
I mean, you want to win, right?
Sure,
Okay.
sure. With overtime, and we've had a few overtimes in these meaningless bowl games. Go back to the old overtime rules. Get rid of this 2-point conversion, like try crap that they have. Get the ball at the 25, eliminate field goals. You know, if you want to get to the point where after the first 2 overtimes, we're all into it. They got nothing after this.
Right. You're right.
So just go back to the old rules and let's have some fun.
So Toledo scores to tie it up, and they kick extra point. They could have gone for the win. But what drove me crazy was at the second overtime, Pittsburgh has the ball on the 1 yard line, and it's 4th down, and you got your guys on the 1 yard line. These are the guys that you put out there that you believe in, that you trust, can get the job done, and you've sweated with them since January, and you've worked through camp, and you've gone through 12 games, and you're on the 1 yard line. I say go for the win.
Absolutely go for the win.
What does Pittsburgh do? They kick the field goal to tie it up. Then they get the ball back for the 2-point conversion. Where's the ball? At the 3 yard line. and they're backed up. You have a chance to win the game. Go win the game. All too often, and look, my best friend is a college football head coach, and we go round and round on all this. I'm telling you, win the game. Don't let your defense make a play and go win the game. The fact that Pittsburgh lost that game, the head coach, they should make him walk from Detroit back to Pittsburgh. He blew the game for them. And the Toledo coach did the same thing certain times. Go for the win. Why are you I'm not giving you, Chase, I love you to death. I'm not giving you another chance to score. I'm not. So it just drives me crazy.
Brother.
And then all these,
I'm with you.
look, all these yesterday's bowl game. Did you watch the Butch Jones Bowl? That was a great game last night. These bowl games
it was
are
better
fantastic.
than that crap that was on in the NFL.
Oh my God. 6-3. Seattle. But anyway, go for the win. Don't give the other team a chance to win. Pittsburgh, your head coach, lost the game for you. Lost that game for you yesterday because he doesn't have the stones to go for it.
You are preaching to the choir.
I was so mad about that.
Do you feel better?
If I had a skillet to pet, I'd feel a lot better.
So
you will in about 3 months.
We have so wait, is this thing even born yet?
I believe it is born. It's just chilling in a confined of other piglets.
Oh, gotcha. Jared Stillman is texted in and has a question. How can you give something a name and then eat it? I think it is a fair question.
Well, that is a fair question. I don't know. I was just excited about it, and I just wanted to give it a
Skillet.
name.
Skillet. I mean, look, Skillet is it's foreshadowing.
That's.
For you.
You get pig's feet out of it. You could also
you don't have to explain anything to anyone.
Oh no, I know. I'm just saying, like the food quality out of this is incredible. You can get a Boston butt, a pork butt, pigtail, pork belly,
Oh, I love pork
some
belly.
ham, obviously, bacon. I mean, chicharron, which is an Hispanic thing where they thank you. They get the skin of the pig and they fry it and then you just dip it in guacamole. It's unbelievable.
That sounds really good.
Hold on. The skin, so it's like Hannibal Lecter,
essentially,
and you fry it.
Yeah.
I know. I've learned so much about cuisine from you. It's not even funny.
I've just learned a lot about him.
Well, that too. No, my brother has several cows. They're named, and he eats them. I mean, that's what you do, right?
I've never owned a hog.
I mean, look, it's the circle of life. I mean, that's what it is.
It is.
You know what we're in. But,
you know why you worked with,
but the name thing was kind of it's a fair question.
Sorry,
and, I used to work. You remember Alan Frio at Channel 4? He told me he would not eat anything that had a mom or dad and that had eyes. And that totally ruined me eating for like 3 months. I don't think I ate anything for 3 months. I was like, I got to process this, Alan. I'm sorry for all that. But good for you, Dr. Crane.
Thank you. It's better than naming your McDonald's Happy Meal Happy Joe. I don't know. There's a difference. There's like processed food and there's actually food that you understand what you're eating. So,
okay. Pinchy. All right.
I mean, look, that's what this is going to become.
All right. I feel better. I got my rant out of the way. I'm here with the guys that I adore. We're good, man.
Oh, we're ready.
All good.
We're ready. We got a great show planned today. Michelle Kennedy, the president of the Nashville Predators, will join us at 9:30. Chris Sanders at 10 o'clock. Predators back in action tonight, so they can continue their point streak. We're all going to be. I heard Robbie say it best that the dozens and dozens of fans are looking forward to Titans Jags coming up this weekend. I feel like that both teams should have to pay the network to show that game.
They should, and I was in my head this morning, like a fun question from the Titans Jags. Like, what does that equal to other things in life? And like, my dog loves to scratch her butt on the carpet and slide across. And it just, I
might mean she has worms.
She's good. She's healthy.
Okay. Good.
She just likes scratching her butt on the carpet and going across. It's just, and I sit there and I look and I laugh. That's the same thing as watching the Titans Jags on Sunday. 3-12. These teams are awful. It's the same thing as watching my dog scratch her butt across the floor. It's the same thing. And so what other things are equal to this? That come to mind.
That's a really great, like, just bad things.
It's bad things.
Root canal.
Root canal is a good one.
Yeah. Colonoscopies
are needed. So this Titans Jags game is not needed. So a colonoscopy.
Well, technically it is because you have to play your
Yeah, I
division
know.
opponents.
I know. And you dropped the technically on me. I get all that, but still.
But yeah, like I mean, I'm at the point now. I'm still watching the games because I feel like
Sure.
I have to.
Yeah.
But it's like I sit there the whole time and I'm like, this is 3 hours of my life I'm never going to get back.
Right. Also, what do I get for winning the on-air host prediction of the Titans record?
A pat on the back.
Because we had a few 9 and 8s.
You got a new pullover.
We had a few 7 and 10s. You only had one 5 and 12, and that was me. I mean, Stillman might have been down there too as well.
Ian put a
No,
4 and 13 out there.
Yeah, Ian was 4 and 13. I think Stillman had him a little higher.
Okay. Well, he's listening. He'll text you in. Ian had 4 and 13?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
He also picked J.C. Latham as the first-round draft pick.
Because it's Ian. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Well, dadgummit, then I needed them to win 2 games to go 5 and 12 to figure out what I had. Chase, what'd you have? You were probably 12 and 5 or something.
No, I think I said 7 and 10, maybe 6 and 11.
I should have written it down, but I didn't.
I think I did write it down somewhere. I'll look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, we should probably do that. 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line. Driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Coming up later today, Vanderbilt in a bowl game. Excited about that. Coming up at 2:30 as they take on Georgia Tech. I think this could be one of the more intriguing matchups of bowl season outside of the playoff. We'll discuss that and much more. Coming up next, 615-737-1025. It's Chasing Big Joe, 1025-1063, The Game. It's Jason Big Joe on this Friday, Pitbull Friday, as we like to say. Broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. We're covering it all here today, and you can weigh in on our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHoney.com at 615-737-1025. We got the Titans and the Jags, the Preds and the Blues tonight, Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech, and Nick talking about his pig. That he,
Full circle
he got.
show, baby.
Yeah.
What's your gut feeling on Vanderbilt today?
I think it's going to be a really good game because, Haynes King and Georgia Tech, obviously they started the year off with that huge win in Ireland over Florida State, had a nice season. That's a good team. Vanderbilt, they had similar seasons. So my gut is close game, but I'm going to give Vandy the edge. I think Vandy pulls it out.
I think Tech wins 38-17. I
Really?
think that's a much better team. Vanderbilt was figured out down the stretch. They figured Pavia out down the stretch. They got tired. They got beaten around. LSU, South Carolina kind of figured them out. Tennessee kind of dangled the little toy in front of them that took it away. But Tech's good, man. That's a good football team. And don't give me because they played in the ACC. That's a good football team. That FSU win was good at the time because that was still first game of the year. It looks bad now, but at the time it was good. And they should have beaten Georgia. But they didn't, and they took Georgia to 6-7 overtimes. That was great. So I don't know. I think if they figure Pavia out, Vanderbilt's done. Once you figure Pavia out, you're done. So I would love for Vanderbilt to win big time today, but I just think Georgia Tech's a better football team.
I just think you just have to be a contrarian. So
no, man, because I'm in this other bowl thing, and I'm 3 for 12 so far. So
okay,
so you want me.
So the opposite, man.
You want me wanting Georgia Tech to win. It happens, man.
All right. Well, I think it'll be a fun game. We'll have pregame coverage today starting at 1 o'clock. So a shortened version of DVD and then into Vanderbilt pregame. So you can hear it all right here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We'll have the TransPerfect Music City Bowl on Monday as well. You and I will be hosting the official pregame show starting at noon.
Love it,
Monday.
man.
So really excited about that. That'll be a fun game to be at too.
Those games are always, there's some blowouts with the year that Auburn beat Purdue 90-0. It's still fun to go, man. And
Dr. Crane's going to come hang out. We'll have our betting analysts will be there as well.
Yep.
From Music City Bets.
We'll get a picture of Skillet to put in the control or the radio booth over there.
You got it.
No, I would love to see Vanderbilt win because they didn't win the 2 bowl games under Derek Mason. Did they win? They won the Music City Bowl in 12. Did they win the Birmingham Bowl over Connecticut in 13? I don't remember.
Was that Franklin's last one?
Yes. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Did
Franklin even coach that?
Yeah.
I think he did. Yeah.
Yep. And then because Munchak got fired during the game.
That's right. And Munchak was mentioned for the Penn State job.
Yep.
Too.
And then Franklin was mentioned for the Titans job. There's a few out there like, hey, look what he's done there, and he could do the same thing in the
My
NFL.
God, what a train wreck that would have meant. Well, okay, you want to play the what if game? What would James Franklin as the Titans coach been a bigger train wreck than what actually happened, which was Ken Whisenhunt?
That's a great question. Also, if Bud had stayed alive, would he have bought into the Franklin hype around here? Because
this is fantastic.
There were a few who
this
really
means absolutely nothing, but this is a fantastic. By the way, Jared had 7-10, but the expectation was 5 wins.
Oh, you can't do that now.
Well, that's what he said at the time. I'm going 7-10, but my expectation would be at least 5 wins.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, okay, I'm just. But back to this because.
But on the flip side, maybe 10-7. No, but if Bud would have been alive, would he have bought into the – because, look, there were a lot of you out there, and you deny it now, you wanted Franklin to coach the Titans. And don't say you didn't because we were on this radio station taking phone calls from you guys.
I do remember that.
That wanted that. I don't know, but that's a great question because Whisenhunt was a train wreck. What would have Franklin – because his dream had always been to coach NFL. He told us that. And the Penn State job opened up for him, and there was the opportunity there. So I don't know, man.
I'm going to ask somebody something real quick. I'm
right here.
I got to text somebody. But, man, that is because Whisenhunt was such a dumpster fire. And, Munchak wasn't that bad, but you were only going to go so far with him.
Good soldier.
Good soldier. The only reason he got that job was because he had been a good soldier and the lockout was happening. and they kind of knew that they needed to just play the safe move and go to Munch and, keep everybody kind of feeling good. But I do kind of want, like, James Franklin. I mean, I think it would have ended poorly, but I think it might have been a tick better than Whisenhunt.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
A
think
tick would have been better.
I don't think he comes in here and, like, locks out former players and just completely, takes morale down. Like, he probably comes in with the same BS that he did on West End that worked, that was what was needed, and plays a little bit of the used car salesman, and it probably would have worked for a couple of years.
You'd have bought into it, man.
Oh, we all would have.
Yeah. To do all that. So that was 11 years ago that happened. So, yeah, I mean, who knows? He wanted that job, and he had talked to us about the dream of coaching in the NFL one day. So the Penn State job opened up after the 2013 season. He took it, and he's been there ever since, which is crazy. Now 11 years, and now he's got a great shot at getting to the semifinals. I think they steamroll Boise State next week.
I do too, and I do wonder if this is when, like, the committee's watching this, and I buy into, if you win your conference, you should be in, but I still think it should not mean automatic bye in a top 4 seed, and I think we've learned that this year. Like, you can't tell me that Boise and Arizona State deserve to be in the top 4, because they don't.
Right. They beat Houston 41-24 in January the 4th, 2014. And then after that, they had 42,000 at that game. Not bad. And then Franklin left right after that and took the Penn State job. And that was when Munchak was fired. So 11 years ago.
That's crazy. I was working a Saturday shift producing some game, because I had, that's what I was at this point in time in my career, and the news broke and nobody was here to go on the air. So I went on the air to basically announce that Franklin was leaving to go to Penn State.
That would have been it. Yeah. Vanderbilt finished 9-4 that year. Well, with James Franklin, 3 straight bowl games today. So their last bowl game was.
So they did win the Birmingham Bowl.
Yep, they did. And so now.
So he only lost Liberty Bowl, then won the next 2.
Correct. So they won 08, won the Music City Bowl. Before that,
with Bobby
was 82. They lost the All-American Bowl to
McIntyre
Air Force, 28-21. I'll never forget, with Whit Taylor as a quarterback. And then before that might have been the Peach Bowl with Steve Sloan. So it's not like they go to a bowl game every. And then Derek Mason lost to 2. They went 2. And then they're back now with in this game. I'd love to see him win, man.
Mason didn't win one at all?
Did not.
Okay.
Mason never had a winning season at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Finished 6-7.
Yeah, that's right.
2 bowl losses. So, but I mean, as much as we bang on James Franklin. I mean, look, 3 bowl games. I mean, he elevated that program to something that hasn't been there.
No, look, I will always give Franklin credit for what he did at Vanderbilt, because he did things that, quite frankly, they were afraid to do, and kind of took them out of the, good players don't go to Vanderbilt because of the entrance exam and, all that. Like, he kind of changed that mindset. There's some people that don't like how he changed the mindset, but he did. And so I'll always look at those 3 years and, be happy about it. But I mean, he is what he is. Like, he's a snake oil salesman, used car salesman, whatever you want to call it.
That's why I love to see him lose at Penn State. But I think he's got a legit chance. That's a good football team he has to run the table, man. And we sit here and like, oh man, what's going on? So hopefully Boise can knock them down.
So if he were to win a championship, because of his ego, could you not see him then? Like, if he won a championship at Penn State, he wins it this year, could you see him starting to flirt with the NFL to try and be in that group? Because I say yes.
100%.
I think he'd crash and burn, but I could totally see it.
He'd love it. Like that Jets job or the Giants job, to be in that market from up that way. He would love it. Would absolutely love it.
Yeah.
The media here in Nashville, we didn't become close, but he went out of his way to talk to us.
Yep.
You remember that?
He used to call in
when he would hear something.
He would be listening. He would be listening, Nick, and all of a sudden the hotline would ring. We'd answer the phone. Hey, it's Coach Franklin. I want to talk to the guys. And he would be like, okay, Coach. Sure. and he would just come on and be like, "Hey, I heard you guys talking about us. I just want to say, hey guys, and like
All
yeah.
that. He did that all the time.
And look, I don't think I'm out of school saying this now. I will never forget Derek's first year, Mason's first year at Vanderbilt. He walks into Atlanta on Radio Row the day before he was scheduled to be there. And he had just come up from the beach, and James Franklin and his family had been down there, and they were friends. They knew each other. And I said, "Coach, what you doing?" And he goes, I'm gonna do all my radio hits today. And I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, Coach Franklin gave me some good advice, and so that's what I'm here for." He hit every radio station on Radio Row.
Good.
And you know what that was? That was recruiting. That's what that was.
Great.
He stayed there for 3 hours, hit every radio station on Radio Row talking about Vanderbilt. And I was like, if James told him to do that, or he thought, whatever the combination was, it was brilliant.
It was. And then when Franklin leaves town, he blocked most of us.
Yeah, right.
He blocked me. And then, I told you the story, in 2016, I get a text from him on Twitter. It says, "Hey man, how you been?" And I'm like, all right, somebody's hacked his account. So I knew the director of football operations for Penn State. I text him and say, "Hey man, what's going on?" He's like, "Oh yeah, James just wanted to say hi to some guys down there." And I realized that's when I was an AP top 25 voter. And I called back to the DFO and I said, "Is this why?" He's like, "I'm not confirming nor denying."
Yeah.
And I said, all right. He's still playing those same games, still playing that same whatever.
Good for him.
But he's been there now since 2014. It's his 11th year. And there's been, there's been a few things that go on like, oh, this is happening or that's happening. But overall, he's still there and he's winning games. So he's making a fortune. Good for him.
Coming up next, we'll shift gears into the Predators. They look to extend their winning streak tonight. Madam President Michelle Kennedy will join us next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game on this Friday. We say hello to Madam President Michelle Kennedy, who is on the line with us. Michelle, how's it going?
Hey guys, I'm doing great. I was listening to your last segment, and James Franklin was getting a lot of airtime. But let's talk today about Preds season ticket holder, SEC Coach of the Year, the Vanderbilt football coach, Clark Lee.
Yes,
down in Birmingham today.
Love that. And yes,
That's
and you're.
what I'm fired up about.
I know.
It's a great day for a Preds fan. We've got the Preds season ticket holder coaching in the Birmingham Bowl, and then we've got the Preds tonight at 7.
I know against
St. Louis.
the St. Louis Blues, and we'll tell you how you can watch that in just a second. But I know as a Vanderbilt alum, you got to be proud of the Commodores going down to Birmingham and hopefully bringing home a win. This should be a great day for Smashville.
Indeed, it should be. It's been a fun season to watch Clark do what he's done there at Vanderbilt with my buddy Candace supporting him. And, yeah, it's a fun day for a Vanderbilt grad. We don't often get excited during bowl season, so this is a unique emotion for us, but one that we hope to get more used to. But, yes, and then we hope to extend our win streak tonight in St. Louis. Things have looked quite a bit better on the ice the last handful of games, and so we're certainly hoping that trend continues.
7 of a possible 8 points on that homestead, 3-0-1. So obviously good on that homestand, and then St. Louis tonight. Not only can fans watch this on the FanDuel Sports Network, and of course listen right here on 102.5 The Game, but also the Predators have partnered up with News Channel 5 and Scripps Sports, so you can see that on News Channel 5 tonight as well. So a couple of different ways to take in tonight's game.
Yeah, this is our third game on News Channel 5. They've been terrific partners this season to get a few games on the air, and it's been received very, very well. Ratings have been great, and so we're excited that everybody can watch again today. So tune in at 7:00 to see us extend the win streak.
And I know obviously the landscape, the media landscape has changed quite a bit. So I'm sure that this has kind of given you all an opportunity to, kind of see some things, learn some things when it comes to the regional networks and all going on, and maybe look ahead to the future. This has to be a little bit of an exciting time to kind of see what's next. Yeah,
that's exactly right, Chase. I mean, it's no secret that there were there have been some bumpy roads lately in the regional sports network. We're so delighted to still be with FanDuel, but we don't know what the future looks like. So you're absolutely right that this is a good way to look into the future and see if maybe there's a different mechanism to broadcast our games. And so far it's been a good experiment, but make no mistake, we remain committed to FanDuel, excited to be their partners. But everybody in the world acknowledges that the regional sports network business is changing and evolving. And so while we remain committed to them, we also have a responsibility to look to the future and see what might happen there.
I got to think the feedback from the game being on News Channel 5 was great. I watch it. I mean, I thought it was, perfect in every which way, and sitting there and get to watch the Preds on Channel 5. I mean, that's just a win-win, Michelle, for everybody.
Yeah, it really is. And Channel 5, again, has been a great partner around that. They developed a pregame show last time. They've done a whole lot of press, a whole lot of advertising, a whole lot of social media. Nash has spent a lot of time over Channel 5 recently. You may have seen him on the socials. But it's been really, really fun. As I said, ratings have been great, as you can expect with over-the-air broadcast versus cable or streaming. But it's been everything that we hoped for and more in this experiment that we're taking on this season. So we're I'll say it again, delighted to be with FanDuel Sports Network, but we also like what we've seen out of Channel 5 and what could lie there in the future.
We had Sean on last week and talk about the year Bridgestone's had in 24. How do you top it in 25? Because it's like every event, every other day, sold out, fun, exciting. And I'm looking at some of you got for 25 for Bridgestone. Holy cow, it's shaping up to be better than 24, which was a fantastic year.
We say at this time, at the end of every year, we say that very thing. And somehow we manage to do it. Nashville has become a must-stop destination on all the tours in North America. David Kells does a fantastic job booking our building. So while you look at it and think, okay, how can it be better? I stand here, beginning my 17th year, seeing it get better year after year, I'm fully confident that somehow, some way, we'll figure out a way to be even busier and better in 25. So we start our 25 roster with Monster Jam on January 4th and 5th, and then we take off like gangbusters from there. It's a very busy January, and we'll be excited to get back at it and start a new year.
I love this, Michelle, because it talks about even though Christmas is past, fans have a chance to give back. One way is through the Jack Daniels barrel tree. The barrels used to build the tree are available for purchase on the website. You got to be kidding me. Those things are awesome.
So fun. Every year we've done this the last couple of years. So the barrel Christmas tree that we build in the back, and then we also had one in the front this year to do carols by the barrel. Those are for purchase, and they will benefit the Nashville Predators Foundation, so we can continue to do the excellent work in the community that we do. So just jump on our website and purchase one of those things. And I think the pickup date, is January 9th. So you still have a few days to get in there. And then another thing that we're doing, we always hear during the holidays how blood supply becomes critically low. So we are having blood drives today at both Fordyce Antioch and Fordyce Bellevue this afternoon. So get out there, and while supplies last, all donors will receive a Preds travel vanity bag. So get out there, help the blood supply, help build the blood supply back, and get yourself a Predators vanity travel bag in the process.
Yeah, Fordyce Bellevue 1-6 and Fordyce Antioch 1-7. You guys, when do you rest? I mean, you've always got something going on.
It is always really busy, and we take a few days when we can, but there's not much time for that. But what we do is so exhilarating. We have such fun at it that you don't often think about rest. Let me tell you guys one more thing before we go. The one thing that is coming up in the middle of January that is so special to all Preds fans and to our organization is that we will be inducting our first Preds Golden Hall class. And if I asked all Preds fans to guess who the three inductees are going to be, I bet they could guess it without much error. It's going to be David Poile, Pekka Rinne, and Shea Weber. And it's hard to think of three more iconic, defining figures in our history than those three guys. David and Shea both recently inducted in the Hockey Hall of Fame. But on January 16th, we will have our inaugural class of inductees into the Golden Hall of Fame. So come out, enjoy that. There's a luncheon that day as well. So come be a part of all of it and watch those three iconic figures in Preds history get the recognition they deserve.
I'm really looking forward to this, and I think it's very fitting that the game that night is against the Chicago Blackhawks. So I'm going to bring a couple of brooms down for Pekka and David specifically, just to hold on to in front of the Blackhawk fans that might be there, just to remind them a little bit. But that's going to be really, really cool to be a part of and to see. And yeah, you can't think of three more deserving individuals than Pekka, Shea, and David.
That's right. And I agree. I laughed too when I saw that the game was against the Blackhawks. There's as defining as those guys have been in our history, there's no team that's probably been a bigger part of defining our history than the Blackhawks. So absolutely appropriate that all that is happening on the 16th.
That is for sure. Michelle, appreciate the time as always. Happy New Year, and let's get a couple points tonight.
Happy New Year. Get all your errands done. 2:30 Birmingham Bowl, 7 o'clock Preds. You're going to be just watching TV from 2:30 to 10.
I love it. Thanks, Michelle.
See you guys.
See ya. Michelle.
Happy New Year.
Michelle Kennedy, the president of the Nashville Predators, joining us here on the program. And yes, it is a big day on our airways with Vanderbilt coverage starting at 1 o'clock, Predators coverage after that. And also a programming note, you can actually hear Vanderbilt on both 102.5, 106.3 The Game, and 94.9 The Fan. So if Predators pregame has to start before the end of the Vanderbilt game, we're hoping it doesn't, but if it does, you can flip over to 94.9 The Fan and hear the conclusion of Vanderbilt Georgia Tech.
Keep it going, man.
So we always got a plan B in place just in case. And by the way, a texter has pointed out on our text line, I'm assuming Joe maybe just hasn't done his research on this game, but the top two receivers for Georgia Tech all year have entered the portal and aren't playing today.
Okay, that gives other two people a chance to step up and prove their worth. So those things never concern me.
Okay, I'm just reading the message,
and I don't do research.
That's okay. Thanks. That's okay. You're just here.
I got something for you. Caleb Williams is on a historic pace. to set this record. And it's kind of mind blowing after watching him last night.
Okay. We'll discuss that and much more coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game. Fire it all. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game on this Friday. As we mentioned, join us this Monday for the TransPerfect Music City Bowl. We'll have a pregame show starting at noon, kickoff set for 1:30 at Nissan Stadium. Music City Bowl coverage is presented by Hi-Fi Buys. So looking forward to that on Monday. Before we get back to the phones, you had a stat on Caleb Williams.
Well, it's just interesting. We talk about Will Levis getting sacked all the time. Caleb Williams has been sacked 67 times this year, and there's another game to go. The record is by David Carr, was sacked 76 times in 2002. And it's different because 14, 16, 17 games, like Ken O'Brien was sacked 62 in 1985. They only played 14 games, so there might have been 3 more after that. But it's just, I feel bad for Caleb. Everybody's on him, but that offensive line for the Bears is worse than the Titans. That guy drops back. He can't do anything. Now, is he good? Yeah. But my Lord, man.
It's interesting, watching some of that game last night. It was awful. But, I'll talk to Ryan Porth every now and then, who's in Chicago, and it's honestly like a mirror universe. Like they're just as much of a dumpster fire as the Titans are. They have what was interesting, so on the Netflix games, a lot of the WWE superstars were on to promote because Raw is moving to Netflix starting January 6th. One of them was CM Punk, who is a Chicago native and a huge Chicago sports fan.
Right.
And so he was on and asked about the Bears. And CM Punk, for wrestling fans out there, know that he does not hold back. And he goes, nothing's going to change until the McCaskies sell the team. And I think there are a lot of Titans fans that probably feel the same way here, that they look at, as long as the Adams family's in charge, things are going to be what they've always been. And so I find that interesting because they have they've already fired their coach, so they're going to be looking for a new coach. People that I've talked to, Ryan, that I've talked to in Chicago, they all want Vrabel. They all think that they want a leader. They want somebody that's going to change the culture, think that he would be the perfect fit. But that's probably not who they're going to end up hiring. Like he said, Ron Rivera's name has been thrown around because you know why? He played there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They love going back into the family. And it's like I've said here, sometimes you need to get out of the family. And so that's a possibility. Caleb Williams, I think it's a tremendous talent, but he obviously needs to be developed more. Needs an offensive line. He's got some weapons. I mean, he's got, Keenan Allen and Roma Dunze and who's the other one they got from Carolina? The other receiver.
DJ Moore.
Thank you. So he's got that. He just needs an offensive line and a run game.
Dunze's not that good.
He hasn't been. He's
It's
been very
just-
disappointing in his rookie year.
He has. So I don't know. But when you drop back and you're going to get planted when you go back on a 5-7 step drop like Will Levis, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting for all that for the sack record 67 times. Good Lord.
That is bad. Let's go back to the phone. 615-737-1025. Clay wants to weigh in. Clay, are you in Birmingham or are you on the way? Clay. Clay. Hi, Clay.
Oh, this is good. This is really good.
Clay.
Chuck takes me and Mario to
This is good. Clay.
Clay.
some girl. Some girl wanted to.
Okay.
Oh my!
I don't know what's better, that or Cliff falling asleep.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
God
that's
bless you.
fantastic.
Oh man! Woo! Oh,
I-
shoot that thing!
Did I try it one more time?
Absolutely, you
Okay.
should.
Clay is on our phone. Clay, are you there?
Yes, I did not believe it, but he is gay.
Oh God!
Is it time to go to the break? Chris Sanders next.
Hour number 2, Chase and Big Joe. Potentially the last hour, thanks to Clay. You never know. Oh, my goodness. Whew. I needed a second. Oh, my goodness. That was something. If you missed it, you missed it.
That's a good way to put that.
That is the best way to put it. We say hello now to Chris Sanders, who is going to pray for us, make us feel better about ourselves. We need it after that. Chris, how are you?
Man, I'm doing good. I actually just woke up, man. I was I woke up, I was sleeping. I had a unibrow, so it was stuck together, so I'm just waking up.
Well, we're happy that you can wake up with us. And
I love you guys. Listen, I wouldn't miss this for anything. You guys are my 2 favorite people, man. You know that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, Titans and Jags. I mean, it's a terrible game. How do you you've been on good teams, you've been on bad teams. If you're playing in this game, how do you get excited? I mean, I know you get the chance to go play in an NFL game, but this is obviously a tough one.
Yeah, it really is tough. But here's the thing, Chase. You're going to find out who loves football, who doesn't love football, or they love it for just, the finances. I remember in 1995 when I got drafted, we had a terrible season. I think we were 6-10 or whatever it was. We were playing our last game in Buffalo. It was snowing and this and that. But me going out there playing and giving my all is because I just love football. And now you got a situation with the Tennessee Titans where you're not going to the playoffs. You got problems at quarterback. You got an offensive line that's struggling. You got the secondary that's giving up explosive plays. Everybody's asking the question, what are you playing for? Yes, you have a lot to play for. You got to play for the love of the game. I know that sounds cliche and corny, but if you love football, you dreamt about playing in the NFL, it doesn't matter what the record is. You're going to go out there and see, I'm going to make a touchdown, make a play, knock down a pass, whatever I do. Why? Because I absolutely love football. That's what you're playing for.
Yeah, for sure. Mason Rudolph will make his second consecutive start after taking the job from Will Levis. What'd you kind of – I mean, look, it wasn't a great game last week. They did battle back and, garbage time. But what did you think overall of his performance?
Yeah, it's kind of like getting on the roller coaster. It's like you're going up, 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 up. Oh, he's doing pretty good. And all of a sudden, here comes an interception and something goes wrong. But, you watch him early in each game that he plays in. I mean, he's throwing some good balls. He's making some good plays. I mean, you look at what happened last week. He throws a bomb to Calvin Ridley. Now you're like, okay, I'm excited. Then all of a sudden reality sits in. He throws interceptions or makes something bad happens, but he still shows some fight. So, you don't know what to take of it. Yeah, and I say this respectfully because everybody thinks a backup is a bad thing in the NFL when only 1% of people make it. I just still see him as just basically, a backup in case anybody get hurt.
Chris Sanders is with us. Chris, I listened to the pregame show last week with you, Jared, and Derek. A lot of screaming on that show on Sunday.
Oh my gosh! Oh, because
won't be this week.
Each other. Yeah, we be screaming at each other every week, and it's all because of Jared. I mean, me and Derek, we're kind of calm and mild mannered, but we got into that subject again about a person being soft, a team being soft, the organization being soft, and I wanted Jared, which I love all my heart. He's like my brother, but. It's like, what's the definition of soft? Is soft when you think of soft, you think timid and scared. Anybody that steps foot on the NFL is not a timid guy. You're just a team that is not disciplined. Your special teams is bad, and everything that a bad team looks like, that's what you are. But calling somebody soft, that's just kind of hard to swallow.
In 1995, you guys going to the last 2 games of the season, you had lost 4 of 5. Yeah, and you weren't playing well, but you win the last 2 games of 1995. You had nothing to play for, and that started a small foundation which springboarded into 96, and you guys were 8-8, 97. You kind of build stuff. So there is, I know roster flips, but the entire roster doesn't flip.
Yeah.
You're going to bring some guys back next year, so these games are still important, aren't they?
They are. Can I tell you, and I know this is kind of, sharing a little too much information, but let me tell you what I was playing for. You got to remember when you put a contract together before the game, right? And one of my incentives was if I catch over 35 catches, I get a $50,000 bonus. Whoa. So that's in the back of my mind. So I'm like, man, throw me the ball. Just kind of like,
hey, Mac, go.
Mac, I'm over here. And all I need was 1 catch. And guess how many catches I had that game? 1 catch. So
boy.
So I was running the post. And Max started to scramble, and he threw it, and I caught like a 40-yard catch or something like that against the Buffalo Bills, and I got my incentives. But, kind of getting back what we're talking about, yeah, they're going to flip the roster big time. You got to look at the whole situation of the team. Okay, what holes need to be filled? Everywhere. Offensive line, we talk about the right tackle. We talk about the secondary. You got to get some more corners. We don't know, the situation with Awuzie if those guys can stay healthy. Then you got a situation, at the wide receiver position. I know we got two good guys. We got Calvin Ridley, NWI, but you still need some depth, in that position. Just overall, Derek Mason says this all the time. I never want to steal his thunder, but he always talks about the depth of this roster. And I think that with Rand Carthon or, Brian Callahan, they need to figure out a way to have more depth on this roster.
Chris, when you caught that pass, were you kind of toe tapping, going, "Gonna get me a new car, gonna get me a new car"?
No, yeah, but back then they had Yugo, so it wasn't the cars weren't too good. But man, I watch it. It's actually on my Facebook page, and I catch it. Watch my face, watch my reaction. I even actually, gave the ref a little tap, like "thank you," because he wasn't gonna call it in, but I kind of said, like, "Come on, man, come on, give me my ducats." But it was pretty cool.
But I know it's at the time it's all great, but you talked about your reinventing yourself and having regrets, this and that. Do you want to smack that kid from 1995 who all he wanted was that one catch?
You know what? That's a great point, and I would say yes. I really would, because just being real, I was being very selfish, and even being selfish in that game, I really didn't want to block. The pitch the same. That's the same game that Les Steckel told me, if you don't start blocking, I'm gonna take you out. That
right.
That's the same game. So if I could turn back the clock and look at that 20-something-year-old kid and say, "Come on, man, it's not about just the money, which we needed. We had to take care of family, but it's about the love of the game. It's about being in the cold with your brother. It's about, from little league to high school to college, to where it looked like you weren't going to make it in the field, and all of a sudden you get drafted. It's going back to those moments and appreciate it. And if I could turn back and talk to the younger Chris Sanders, I would say, son, come here. Let me talk to you. Sit right here. Appreciate what you have. That's what I would tell that old Chris.
And that's man, you got to get on the NFL team. I mean, these guys need you, because you went through they ain't listening to me or Chase. You went through the fire. Man, and I always tell people that God had to make you uncomfortable, otherwise you would have never moved.
But you know what's so good about the whole thing, and this is just like the meaning of Christmas. Everybody loves gifts. Everybody loves the car. Everybody loves the house. Everybody loves that. But it's nothing like having a peace of mind.
Yes. Oh, yeah. 100% agree with you on that.
Let me tell you, so these last 5 years, going through a lot of trials and tribulations, it's just sitting here. I mean, me and my wife sat on Christmas with our kids, and we sat there and we let them open up the presents, this and that. But then we went back and laid in the bed. But just having a sense of peace, a sense of just being thankful. The present stuff was great. Oh, absolutely, I love the presents. But sitting there, looking in the mirror and having a peace of mind and loving that guy in the mirror, dang comment.
Yeah.
That
is truly what it's all about.
It is. And that's why you talk about this weekend. I mean, if you go in that game Saturday or Sunday not wanting to win,
oh man,
what are you doing?
Let me tell you something. You have a loser's limp. That's what it is. And I say that I'm not saying who somebody has another team. I'm saying if you go in this game and you say, I'm not going to play hard, I'm going to play just enough. No, you have a loser's limp, because when the game is on the line and you need to make a play, you're going to still have that loser's limp. So why not finish the game strong? You got 2 more games left. Finish the game strong, finish both of them, and then on the offseason build from that. To be like, you know what? I got interceptions. I made some touchdowns. All these things that you work hard for, now you can go on the offseason and then make that even better. And that's what you have to play for.
Chris Sanders is with us. What would be your message to Will Levis for the next 2 games?
What I would tell Will Levis, and this is why I want to do player development, because I've been in this situation, and it was in 1998 where, I get blasted on draft. They said we don't have no receivers. Chris Sanders is this, all this stuff. So I'm sitting there looking at that, and I was sitting in my basement, with tears in my eyes. What I would tell Will Levis is, don't you dare give up now. Yes, everybody's talking about you. Everybody's saying you're not this. Everybody's saying you all this nonsense. Now, a lot of it's true of the play, not the man, but all this stuff that they're listening to. what you have to do is you have to tune down the negativity and start putting more positivity in. Say, man, I can do this. What do I need to work on? Get a list of, or get a blank piece of paper and write down all the good things that you are, and write on the things you need to work on. And this is your goals. That's what I would sit down and tell them. Because, man, the thing about it is you're a rare commodity. I know you haven't done a lot of good things yet, but you're still a 1%er. What's a 1%er? 0.1% people make it in the field, and you're right there to build up his confidence, to build up not just the football player, but to build up the man. Because if you build up the man, now you're going to build up the football player, and he's going to become what he's supposed to become.
That is perfect.
Do you ever talk to Torrey Hunter?
Torrey Hunter, Torrey, who the heck is that?
He's drafted behind you in 1995 with the Oilers.
Oh, defensive back. Yeah, Torrey. Yeah, I remember. I ain't talked to that dude for since 1996 when he got cut. I mean, Torrey. I talked to Dave Craig. How bad is he? How bad looking at you?
But you guys, that draft class, that 95, McNair, Anthony Cook, Chris
good.
Sanders, Michael Roan, Rodney Thomas.
Michael Roan's another guy who looked bad in his uniform too. He's got a bad.
But he also, I'll never forget the knee injury he had versus Buffalo on Sunday Night Football because he was a good tight end. He was behind Wycheck, obviously, but he had a gruesome knee injury.
He did, man. I mean, he was one of those guys that just came to work. He barely said a word, but if you ask him to block, if you ask him to do the things that you ask him to do, he's always going to be there. So he wasn't a splashy guy. He wasn't going to run a seam and catch one for 50 yards, but he'll catch a 2-yard touchdown and make it in the end zone. Those are kind of the guys that you need on your roster. Michael Roan.
Oh, boy. Chris, appreciate it as always, my friend.
Always.
You will be with Joe on Sunday, so maybe there won't be as much yelling.
Oh, my gosh, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Love y'all. Y'all have a great holidays, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Chris Sanders joining us here on the program. Forever Titans wide receiver, as he always does on Friday. We'll have more coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, the game on this Friday. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We are, so far.
Big weekend could be a good day for Nashville sports. Vanderbilt wins.
I
Prince
think it's
win
going to
tonight.
be a great day for Nashville sports. I think Vandy's going to go in. They're going to beat Georgia Tech down in Birmingham. And then the Predators are going to continue their streak, their win streak with a win in St. Louis.
What are
I
they
feel
up
good
to
about
now?
it.
3?
Well, I think this would be the third win in a row, but they're 3-0-1 in their last in the homestand. They got points in every game. There was one overtime loss in there, but they've definitely gotten some points. So hopefully they can continue that because look, they need it for them to stay in the race. And the NHL has been on a break. Predators sit 7th place in the Central Division, 29 points. They are, I believe, 12 out of a playoff spot, 11 out of a playoff spot right now.
So it's not over,
It's not over at all.
but they need to go on a nice big fat
Yes.
run, right?
Yes,
Okay.
100%.
I'm looking, Winnipeg 51. Does that lead the NHL? Unfortunate it's in the Western Central Division of the Western Conference. That's all right, though. So basically, you shoot for the top 3 in your conference. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the top 3 in each division makes it. Top 3 in each division makes it, and then there's 2 wild cards.
Yeah. So they're by no means are they out of it. But
Yeah.
you got to go on a nice winning streak. Who says they can't? Right?
I think they can. I mean, I look, this team is too talented not to be able to do that.
They have not gone to any shootouts this year. Do you know that? I can read the standings.
I guess that is right. I guess I haven't had one of those.
No.
Interesting.
Did they finally get the 3-on-3? They finally win that one?
Yeah, they won one of those the other night.
All
So that was
right,
good.
man. See? Sunny side up, man. This is good for them. And St. Louis is not that much better.
No.
Right.
No. 615-737-1025. Eric has been waiting very patiently to comment on Vanderbilt. Eric, what's up?
Hey guys, y'all have to forgive me. I have been sneezing my head off. Got allergies, so hope I won't do it on the phone. I definitely will not ask what Vandy Clay said. I heard caught the tail end of it. Don't want to know what was said. Won't ask. But before I get to that joke, did you find out who Beth Bears was?
Yeah, she was from
Broke
and
Two Broke Girls, and she's in the TV series The Neighborhood. So I was very, very surprised you didn't know who she was.
Well, the picture they supplied me did not look like anything like she looked on Two Broke Girls, because on Two Broke Girls, she looked fantastic.
Yeah. Well,
So-
anyway. I did have a couple of things I wanted to say. As far as Vanderbilt, I definitely think they've got a shot today. Whether or not they'll win, I don't know. The only reason I'd give them a shot is with the time off. Maybe they'll be re-energized in the bowl game today. But I did want to ask you about an incident. The only reason I didn't think about it is because somebody talked about it a couple of days ago, and then it was brought up again. This has not gotten a lot of publicity, but did you hear about what happened in last Saturday's Eagles-Washington game?
No.
Well, apparently Nick Sirianni was at it again. He got into it with Zach Ertz, who used to play with the Eagles. I can't remember if it was before or after the game. He had to apologize to him on the Zoom call. So Nick Sirianni, it seems like it's one thing after another. Where his incident with his coach, assistant coach on the sideline a couple of weeks ago, he had the whole thing where he was using his kids as props after he got into it with the fans. It's not, I mean, if the Eagles don't get into at least the NFC Championship game, I think there's a strong possibility he might be done.
Well, but what if he goes all the way and they win the Super Bowl? What do you do then?
Well, they'll probably bring him back, I guess. It's just hilarious of all the incidents that he gets into. And then lastly, guys, I'll leave you with this. This concerns the Titans. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen this weekend. I'm hoping they win. But I'm hearing everybody says, well, we got to get rid of Rand and we got to get rid of Brian Callahan. And I believe these are the same people who want us to tank for draft picks. So, I mean,
Well, I get it. By the way, Beth Bears, do you know who her grandpa was?
no.
Chicago Bears.
Oh,
Have a good day.
Eric, hey, tell him you're the master of the dad joke.
Yes, I am definitely the master of the dad joke. Good Joe.
Sorry about that. Buddy.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.
We'll talk to you again soon. Y'all take care.
Yes,
See ya.
sir, Eric. Thank you. buddy.
Appreciate it. Oh my goodness. That was bad.
Well, I
Do you
mean,
feel better?
Beth Bears.
Yeah, that's
Chicago Bears.
the Bears.
It all works out.
That I don't even know where to go from there. You know what is interesting? Like I was talking to Jared about, kind of planning ahead and things. Is it January 6th is the day after the season ends? I think that's what they refer to as Black Monday, when all the firings usually happen.
Yes,
Do we really think there's going to be one
I
with
do.
this team?
I do. And I've seen enough.
I know.
And I don't, call for people to get fired. I've just seen enough. It's okay if it's not working out. Move on.
Here's what I'm afraid is going to happen. What I'm afraid is going to happen is she's going to halfway do it. And what I mean by that is it's not going to, like, my belief is Rand Carthon and Chad Brinker are one. And so if you're going to keep them, you keep both. If you're getting rid of them, you're getting rid of both of them. I'm afraid she's going to do half. And like I put Callahan over in his own category, because I think if you bring in a new GM, the new GM is going to decide on the coach. Either to keep the coach or bring in a new coach.
Do you think Brian Callahan could lead this team to a Super Bowl? Be honest.
My honest answer is I don't know. Like I know you don't like that. I don't, because this roster is so bad. Levis is so bad as a quarterback. Do I think he's been in over his head at times? Absolutely. Do I think he's made some bad decisions? Absolutely. Do I think he's made some good decisions? Yes. So I don't know if he's really gotten a fair opportunity for me to evaluate how good of a coach he is.
I don't know is, I'm not mad at you. It's just that is the worst answer to have, because
I
you just don't know. You don't know that. And, people point back, like, Zach Taylor in Cincinnati. Well, he was terrible in 2019. Then he got Burrow.
Exactly.
There's not a Joe Burrow out there anywhere on the horizon. There's not a Joe Burrow who's going to come in and save you. I just think we've seen enough, and that's it. It's okay. Coaches get fired all the time. It's okay.
Well, because here's the thing. In the National Football League, there are probably, you can count on one hand the quarterbacks that will change your team, that are game-changing, that they make your team instantly better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in today's NFL, it's probably Mahomes, Allen, Burrow. I'd put Burrow in this category. Lamar, at one time Aaron Rodgers, but I would say probably not anymore. But that's it. Same goes for coaches. Like head coaches that are absolute game changers. I mean, really right now, the active one is Andy Reid. Is there another one?
I like Sean McVay, man.
Yeah. I mean,
there's something about that team. They're sitting there 9-6 with a quarterback in Stafford. But yeah, I mean, there's some,
like, they don't grow on trees.
You're right. No, you're exactly right. And so that's why this Sunday is going to be frustrating, because you're watching these two teams. They're going nowhere with players. They're probably not going to be here. A lot of them next year are not going to be here. So I don't know. It's just, there's nothing to smile about.
The other thing too is I would focus more on the roster building than I would the coach right now. And and I will explain what I mean by that coming up next, because I think too many people get caught up in the coach part before you need to fix the other stuff. We'll discuss that and much more coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com. And we're presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, 1025-1063, The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3. The game again. Vanderbilt football presented by Prince's Hot Chicken in action today as the Commodores take on Georgia Tech in the Birmingham Bowl. Pregame at 1, kickoff at 2:30 right here on 102.5, 106.3. The game, having a blast here on this Friday with Chasing Big Joe. So what I was saying, I feel this team needs to address the front office and the roster before you even think about looking at the coach again, because you could bring Andy Reid in. Andy Reid's probably going to make this team a little bit better, but even Andy Reid can't take this team to the Super Bowl. So you could get the best coach in football, and if the roster sucks, it's still not going to be very good.
We're about to see how good of a coach Andy Reid is next weekend.
Why next weekend?
Because Mahomes ain't playing.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz is going to go in the game as their starting quarterback because the Chiefs have already wrapped up number 1. So we'll see. I mean, a quarterback makes you. It's that simple. A quarterback makes you.
Yeah.
The 49ers had Joe Montana. You remember his back? You were too young. Steve DeBerg was his backup.
Right.
Adequate quarterback. He wasn't Joe Montana.
Right.
I'm telling you, a quarterback that's why it's so important. People ask, well, what's the most important position in sports? It's the quarterback.
Yeah.
A goalie in hockey is important. A closer in baseball is important, but a quarterback in football is it. And if you don't have one, you're average. So we'll see next week with the Chiefs. That's why we talk about, Joe Burrow is playing the best quarterback in the NFL right now, I think. Lamar's good. Josh Allen's good. Burrow doesn't have those weapons.
Yeah.
Burrow's just got Jamar Chase, man.
T. Higgins is pretty good.
T's not bad, but overall, he ain't got what other teams have. So it's
doesn't have a line.
It goes back to the quarterback. It's always going to go back to the quarterback. But I don't know if Brian Callahan with the quarterback is a Super Bowl winning coach. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think the perfect example is we all thought that when Matt LaFleur got the Packers job and then they had the success that they had, it's like, oh yeah, well, he's got Aaron Rodgers. So of course he's going to do well with Aaron Rodgers.
Sure,
as soon as Rodgers left, we were like, here we go. We're going to find out how much of a fraud Matt LaFleur is. We were wrong.
Right.
He's done a great job with Jordan Love. Do I think that team's going to win the Super Bowl this year? No, but they're pretty good. They're there. So it's really tough to tell. And I agree with you. The most important position is the quarterback. You know what the second most important position probably is? Left tackle or tackle, depending on, it could be right tackle, depending on what arm your quarterback throws with. But like this team, now I'm reading stuff about the Titans could draft, once again, spend a first round draft pick on an offensive lineman and then move Latham back to right tackle.
I don't know.
Look, whatever works. If you can get 2 bookend tackles and not have to worry about that for the next 10 years, then great. But
yeah, I just, you've drafted really bad in 20, 21, 22, and 23. Really bad. With 24, the jury's still out a little bit. I don't know, man. They're just so. And the fortunate thing is there are other teams that need the same thing that you need.
Right.
The Bears need linemen. The Panthers need linemen. The Saints need linemen.
Everybody needs linemen.
So it's
Wichita needs a lineman.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you Monday. We'll see you Monday at noon.
Thank you.
It's just so much to go. But again, you can flip the season in 1 year. It's been done. The Texans did it. Rams did it 98-99 and won a Super Bowl. So that's why we keep coming back to this reality show of the NFL that we can't get enough of.
If they took, I read a mock draft, I think it was A to Z Sports. They did a mock draft already. Titans picking 4th, and they took a lineman.
Right.
If they did that, again, 3rd year in a row that they're addressing O-line with the first pick or first round, would Titans fans be like up in arms about that? Or are they at the point where they're like, hey, just fix the line?
Put it this way. There is a newborn baby in Green Hills that won't have a father. Because Jared Stillman will have a heart attack and be done with life. And I'm with him.
Yeah.
I don't want I need Flash now. I need a rusher.
But they need a right tackle. You don't have a right tackle.
They ain't going to Super Bowl with the right tackle. Yeah, they have no rush. They have no pass rush.
I agree.
They have no movement in the middle. I don't know. The right tackle thing confuses me.
Nothing you're saying is wrong.
The right tackle thing confuses me because where did the shortage of right tackles go? And I'm telling you, it goes back because nobody wants to play offensive line anymore. That's
Bingo.
the problem.
Because they look at the flash, and a prime example is I don't think Taylor Lewan even wanted to play tackle. Taylor Lewan wanted to be, now he was good at it. He was really good at it. He got paid for it. But he wanted the flash. I mean, he wanted to be, noticed.
He did.
And for a long time, nobody noticed an offensive line. And now you got guys like Lewan was one, Jason Kelsey is one. But we all knew Bruce Matthews because Bruce Matthews played so damn long.
Right.
But he wasn't this, flashy player
Right.
that had a podcast and was on TV all the time. And
You're going to laugh at me, but for the old guys out there, one of the greatest things that benefited offensive linemen was the old Miller Lite commercials with Art Donovan.
I remember those.
And defensive line, Bubba Smith, Alex Karras, and those guys who are they put a face on the faceless.
Yeah.
Those commercials are great, man. Art
Right.
Donovan would go on Letterman and be a hero and laughter. Those are great. Those are gone anymore.
But
Nobody wants to do it.
But what's funny, and I've heard you say this before, you know why there's a Hall of Fame? The guys in the trenches.
That's right.
I mean, the Pro Football Hall of Fame is for it was funny. I was discussing with some people yesterday at the bar of, okay, guys that are playing right now that are absolute locks for the Hall of Fame. And I said, well, you could probably pick out about 10 linemen that are going to go in that you probably don't even know their names. But but they're going in. They're that good. Lane Johnson, one of those, I don't think Penei Sewell's there yet, but he probably will be. I mean, there's some of those guys that they're going to get in because it's just, linemen go in. But then the others, there's some that are more obvious than others. But my thing is, I don't want them necessarily to take a lineman with their first pick, but I think they need to. They got to fix that first. And I agree with you, pass rush. But, I look at Latham. I think he's hit the rookie wall because that's a real thing.
Yep.
I do wonder if that gets, especially with these guys that are going to be playing for programs that are going to go deep in the playoffs, that's obviously going to improve some things because they're going to play more games. But, you go from Latham played, 14 games last year?
Yes, correct.
To now 17. There's a big difference in that. And he had a break in between, the SEC championship and the playoff to kind of heal up. You don't have that. So I think it is a real thing. The one that really continues to concern me is Skoronski. Is Skoronski going to be able to turn it around and be a better starting guard in this league? Or have we seen enough in the last 2 years to say that's a busted pick and he's, serviceable, but probably a backup?
It is that is the guard is the hardest position, I think, to evaluate. Center is
Sorry.
What a show, man. The best show today. To me, guard is and you talk to coaches, it's a really hard position to evaluate because you're stuck in the middle between the center and the tackle. You can evaluate because you're getting guys past you, but the guard is really tough. Center is equally hard as well. So, and I've seen things on the internet where Skoronski's having a great year. I don't know because the team is so bad that it's hard to figure out what's that's going on over there. I was looking at this right now, and it came out offensive linemen. There are 46, according to this list, offensive linemen in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 46.
Wow.
And it says it's one of the lowest represented numbers.
Is it really?
It says 46. That's what I'm seeing on the list here. So,
interesting.
I don't know. And then 47 linebackers and on, of course, quarterbacks. Right. But you don't draft somebody. I mean, when the Steelers had that great draft of Joe Green and those guys, it wasn't like, all right, Hall of Fame draft. It's like, God, please come in here and contribute right away. And that's what you want. You want guys to come in and contribute right away if you can. And That's why it's so tough. You go back to 2020, Chase, and what if Isaiah Wilson would have been halfway decent?
Right.
You're not in this predicament. To me, that's one of the most, I don't know, Bermuda Triangles to figure out what happened. He was good at Georgia. I don't know.
It's a question that will plague us until the end.
Do we blame John Robinson for that? I don't.
No,
I don't blame.
No,
I blame him
that
for
was-
Farley because he knew
Sure.
Farley was injured.
yeah, I Isaiah Wilson is it's just a miss. I mean, but you had no idea.
Zero. He was great at Georgia.
I blame Sam Pittman.
Hell
more
yeah,
than
we
anybody.
do. Sam knew something that we didn't know.
Yeah.
Had to.
I mean, like Kirby Smart, Sam Pittman had to know something, like that the kid didn't love football, because that's what it came down to. He didn't love football.
Yeah, at some point at Georgia, did he show this?
Yeah.
Hey, well, you know what? The guy, Jimmy Johnson. We love Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson would go recruit guys. He would talk to at high school when he was a college coach, would talk to the janitors.
Yeah.
Hey, tell me about Chase McCabe. Chase is after. That's how he drafted Russell Maryland, because he went and talked to in Chicago, and they're like, oh, the guy can dunk flat-footed. He's a good kid. He's here after school. He works hard. He just needs motivation.
Well,
Bingo.
that's why, when somebody submits a resume and it has their references, you go and you find people that aren't on their reference list. Real quick, Michael wants to weigh in on the Titans. Michael, what's up?
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call. I agree with y'all on the whole coaching thing, but I think at this point, Brian Callahan and Ryan Carthon on the front office, they haven't shown me anything so far to where if a superior known talent, like, Pete Carroll has said he wants to come out of retirement, he wants to come back. If you have the opportunity to go get Pete Carroll, Brian Callahan hasn't done enough to prove to me that, I should trust him and his process over someone like Pete Carroll, who probably doesn't have as much time coaching left, but will absolutely bring better results than Brian Callahan, regardless of the roster we got right now. That's just my opinion on it.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks for the call, Michael. Appreciate it.
That's a good
No
point.
problem.
Thank you, Michael.
Look, it is a good point. If I know that I can hire Pete Carroll, then I'm probably going to hire Pete Carroll. But here's the thing. I don't think Pete wants to come here. Pete could take that Chicago job, and if they stay out of his way, he can turn Chicago around probably in a season, because he's got a quarterback that he can build something with.
Yes.
He ain't doing that here.
And he hires really good assistant coaches.
Right. Like, I mean, you look at Dan Quinn. Wasn't he one of them? He was the DC for the Legion of Boom.
Was he? He was, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So, I
right.
mean, like, he's had some good ones for sure. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is and celebrity birthdays. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, the game here on this Friday. Hope you're having an awesome day so far. DVD coming up in just a few minutes. Again, Vanderbilt football, their bowl game today against Georgia Tech starting at 1 o'clock, and then we'll have Preds hockey after that at 6 o'clock as they open their long road trip against the St. Louis Blues. But right now, it's time for What Day Is It? And celebrity birthdays.
All right, gentlemen. First on the list, and it's a short list today, it says Make Cutout Snowflakes Day. So if you like to do some arts and crafts, go out there and have fun. Let's see. National Fruitcake Day. There's a type of...
Clay can talk about that a little bit more.
Probably could.
And so could the Wiggles.
Yep. And Skittles and all that. Yeah. Visit the Zoo Day is next.
Nice.
That's that. You guys ever pet a llama before?
I have.
I think I have too, actually. Yep.
What's the difference between alpaca and a llama? They're in the same family,
About
right?
$300.
Probably.
Oh, all right. Well, there's a picture of a kid petting a llama. So, yeah, that's that.
Did you never read the book Llama, Llama, Mama, Mama? Those kids' books?
Probably back in the day. Somewhere down there in the library of some sort.
That's right.
But that's it. That's all we got.
That's all we have
It's a
today?
short list. I feel like once the holidays hit, whoever makes these days kind of falls off.
Take a
after
break.
that as well.
All right, time for celebrity birthdays. Got to get these within 2 years. Here we go. Our first birthday, Eva LaRue. She was on CSI Miami, and she was one of the inside crime technicians. She was married to Jay Peterman from Seinfeld as well.
Oh.
And she is absolutely beautiful.
54.
60.
58. Dr. Crane knows his secondary actors. Well done, buddy. I don't know who that is. We'll move on down here.
They don't know who you are either.
Right. Haley Williams of Paramore. Didn't they open for Taylor Swift around on that tour she just had? That little
I
small
don't
tour?
know. Yeah, maybe. 40.
38.
36. 2-0. Dr. Crane getting it done. On down here, don't know who that is. Timothy Chalamet. He's in that new Bob Dylan movie.
Is he Bob Dylan?
He is. Portrays Bob Dylan in the movie Complete Unknown.
32.
He was on College Game Day recently.
That's right.
He said 32. I'm going to go 29.
29 exactly.
Wow.
Dr. Crane's up 4-0. All right, I'll move on down now. Guitar player Mick Jones of Foreigner.
72.
67.
80. Singer Tracy Nelson. Is that the one that's married to Mark Harmon?
I don't
No,
know.
that can't be. Anyway, singer Tracy Nelson.
73.
75.
80. Actor Gerard Depardieu. The movie Green Card.
67.
65.
76. Guitar player. Nah, well, I'm not going to do him. Thought it's his brother that's famous, not him. Hold on, we got these, guys. We got these going down here. We doing good today? Good, thanks. How are we? Great. Shay Mooney of Dan and Shay. I can't tell you one song they sing.
Tequila. 33.
37.
33 exactly.
On the
Chase
board.
McCabe knows his bands. All right, here we go. Sports birthdays. We had talked about him last week. Former Iowa linebacker, Patriot linebacker, Andre Tippett. One of the best linebackers to ever play the game of football.
57.
58.
65. Kansas basketball coach Bill Self. When he takes a picture, does he take a selfie?
Oh, boy.
You sure?
62.
60.
62 exactly. We're tied at 4. Gonzaga basketball coach Mark Few. Or is it Pugh? I can't read my
Few.
writing.
It's
Few.
Few.
Mark Few.
64.
It's a scene out of Welcome Back, Kotter. Pew the mummy. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'll go with the 60.
62. That's a push. This is the one that Chase McCabe hates, but Chase, you better get this. Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg.
We're tied at 4.
He is 55.
60.
58. Dr. Crane's up 5-4. Bonus points. Dr. Crane, where did he play football?
Georgia.
Damn it.
And the Falcons.
That's right. Former Titans fullback Lorenzo Neal.
We love Zoe. Lorenzo Neal, 53.
50.
54. We're tied at 5. This is great. Former Tennessee running back little man James Stewart. Played there 91 to 94. Okay, boy. Sorry.
58.
43.
53. Former Heisman Trophy winner Carson Palmer.
45.
51.
45 exactly. Chase up 7-5. Was down 4-0. We're down to our final 2. Cole Hamels. Baseball player Cole Hamels.
42.
45.
41. Chase was guaranteed him a victory 8-5. Chase, you can hit double digits. Our final birthday. San Francisco quarterback Brock Purdy. How old is Brock Purdy today?
He's pretty good on his
Cancel his microphone.
27th birthday.
25.
25 exactly. But too little too late. Chase wins 8-7. Now that's a battle I like to see, boys.
That was a good battle for sure. That is going to do it for us for today and this week. Vandy football starting at 1, but DVD coming up next.
Yeah, as we leave it, it's our final Friday of the year. And guys, you're here. You're doing so awesome, and we love you. If you're going through something again on your cell phone, dial 988 or you can text 988. Anyway, whatever you do, please talk to somebody about anything. If you're doing fine, please let us know. You can reach out to us anytime. We're always here for you. And as we always say, your journey is your journey. It's a beautiful journey. We know there's potholes. We know there's bumpy roads, but we also know there are clear roads and there are clear skies. And know that we love you. And more importantly, know this, God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. D-Mace, Vingan, and Donick next. 102.5, 106.3, The Game.